Me and my friend just finished our workout and we're heading to the locker room because we want to go to the sauna. And the sauna is like pretty small. Only 3 people can fit in there. Yeah, I know, it's pretty small. We get to the locker room, we change and everything, and we're ready to hit the sauna now. As I'm walking over, I see that there's a guy inside, and this made me excited and happy because I'm gonna talk to this stranger, and I'm gonna make a new friend, because I basically treat the gym like a social club, right? I no longer go to college, so this is like the only place where I can talk to people and I can socialize. Before I open the door, I'm like, okay, this is my opportunity to make a conversation with this guy. I'm excited, I'm gonna make a new friend. I open the door, I step in, and as soon as I got in, I saw something that made me really disappointed. I saw that this guy has his fucking AirPods in and is glued to his phone, scrolling, watching TikTok videos. Instantly I feel upset and disappointed. As I sit down in the heat, all I'm thinking is, this is so sad, man. No wonder men feel lonely nowadays. It's as if we don't want to connect to others anymore. It's as if men no longer want to put themselves in discomfort situations. We become so fucking antisocial. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I have this thing, anyone can change. Because years ago, imagine, bro, someone that was a fucking social anxiety, that would be scared to talk to people. Now this is the guy that is upset because the only person that he can talk to has his fucking AirPods in. That's why it's insane to see how much you can change. But anyway, there's a big problem that a lot of guys face, and I used to face, which is I am an antisocial, but I do want to make friends, right? You find yourself in a fucked up situation, which is you want to make friends, but talking to a strange scares you. So it's like, oh my god, so I am antisocial. I wish I had friends. It wasn't until enough was enough, and I started addressing social anxiety, and I started to put myself out there. I have talked to literally anyone that I see, and I no longer have like this anything stopping me from talking to anyone that I want. I made some blogs. I go to the city on every Monday, and I literally talk to anyone that I see. These are the things that I understood that made me see socializing super easy and super normal. If you are a lonely antisocial, these are the things that can help you to be like, oh wow, I can do this. I can talk to people. I can make friends. The first thing, you see, the reason that I wouldn't talk to people, fair enough, yeah, that would scare me. I would feel anxiety and all of that. But the reason that I wouldn't talk to people, and I'm pretty sure that you have this big ego too, right? Is that our egos, and especially my ego, wouldn't allow me to talk to people because I would suck at talking to people. So my ego doesn't like me to do things that I don't like because I suck at them, because I wouldn't win, because I feel doing it because I'm not really good at it, right? And that's what, for me, when I was a kid, I would rather play video games because I was really good at the video game, but I would suck at talking to people. That's why I would be really good at reading or doing everything that has nothing to do with people, because I am not really good at talking to people, but I am good at playing video games, but I'm good at reading, but I'm good at X, Y, and Z. I remember that this was my first time that I went to Florida to meet one of my best friends. And we went to a mall to basically play ping pong. And he and his friends are really good at ping pong, right? Every time that they would play against each other, the game would be really intense. You would see them, one would score, then the next one would score. It would be really even, really intense. They were really good at it. But on the other hand, when I would have to play, when it was my turn against one of them, I would always lose because I would suck at playing ping pong, right? So that's why I hated playing ping pong. Not because of the game itself, but it's because of the skill that I had and the experience that I had. I was not really good at playing ping pong because I sucked, right? Because I didn't have enough experience. Well, same thing happens with socializing. I didn't have enough experience at talking to people. I would, of course, suck at talking to people. I would be, of course, anxious and really nervous around people because I didn't have enough experience in the past. And that's the thing. If you think that you suck at talking to people, let me ask you this. How many people do you talk to on a daily basis? How many strangers do you meet on a, let's say, on a weekly basis, right? Do you have a notebook and a journal where you're like, oh, I met Marisa, I met Mateo, I met, I don't know, Drake, Kevin. Do you have a notebook where you are writing the people that you have met this week? You probably not. How many conversations have you had yesterday? How many people did you talk to? How many strangers did you talk to yesterday or last week? If it's none, or if it's pretty low, well, that's why you suck at talking to people. And that's what the first thing that I understood. The reason that I wouldn't like that I would be antisocial, it's because I suck at talking to people. And this is where the second thing that I had a really powerful thought that I was like, oh shit, damn, where did this come from, right? So when I first started addressing social anxiety, talking to strangers, talking to anyone that I see, one of the thoughts that I had was, I suck at talking to people right now, but that's okay. As long as I show up, I'm winning, right? Because we expect outcomes, right? I would expect outcomes. If I approach a pretty girl, she has to give me her phone number, she has to go on a date with me, and that would be a win for me. If I did that, I won. No. The moment that I went against my feelings, against my thoughts of she's gonna reject you, other people are gonna see that she's out of your league, but I approach her regardless of what I was thinking and feeling, I won already. So that's one of the things that I thought is, hey, listen, have as many conversations as you can. You're gonna suck, and that's okay. You're just practicing. If I talk to a pretty girl, I'm not gonna, she didn't give me her phone number, therefore I suck. No, I approach her, right? I approach her, and it took balls for me to do that. So all of those times when I would be awkward, nervous, anxious, maybe the conversations would be dry, maybe she would reject me in a weird way. All of those moments, I just thought to myself, that's okay. I'm still showing up. And this is why in the past I would quit talking to girls and talking to people, because someone would make me a weird face or a weird expression, right? Let's say, hey, what's up, man? Nice to meet you. And then the guy would be kind of like, look at me weird. Let's say we're at the gym and I would talk to someone or at school. If I would talk to them and they wouldn't be open, they wouldn't be like, yo, what's up, man? How are you? If they wouldn't give me the same energy back, I would be like, oh my god, you see, people don't like me and I am weird, they can see that. Screw that. It's all about numbers. It's all about it's all about talking to as many people as you can. It's about quantity over quality at first. Before I would get one rejection from a guy or from a girl, and that would send me like, oh, you see, yeah, I'm gonna go back to my comfort zone. Oh yeah, people don't like me. Oh yeah, girls are mean and people are mean. People just are here to judge me and get me. And right now I don't even know how many rejections I've gotten. Every time that I go to the city, I talk to 20, 15 girls maybe. And I'm still gonna show up and put the effort because of these three things. And these things have been like scientifically proven to help you with your brain, right? If you're anything like me, I really like to do things that are based on science or that have been proven to work, right? Don't forget, based on my own experience and based on what psychiatry says and what psychology says, three things happen when someone that has social anxiety start to put themselves out there. The first one, and what happened to me, was if I would see a pretty girl, a hot girl, 10 out of 10, and if I would approach her, all of those things would be like, wow, man, I approach her. Look at her. She's a fucking 10. There was a guy behind me looking at me kind of like impressed, bro. Like, wow, she's beautiful. And this guy has the balls to talk to her, right? The first thing that happens is that when you do the impossible, your brain starts to be like, you start to pick up some type of confidence, right? Because it's like, wow, bro, I didn't want to do it. I was scared to do it, but I did it anyway, right? So some type of like self-love or confidence start to pick up and start to increase after you do the impossible, right? That's one of the things that I understood. That's why you probably have, I don't know if you've seen those videos, but sometimes there's a mom and daughter. I would think that that's impossible, right? Not a lot of guys have the balls to approach a girl first, and the second one, not a lot of guys have the balls to approach a girl in front of her mom, and I've done it. I've done it a couple of times in front of her mom. I'm like, hey, respectfully, I think that your daughter is cute. And then we have a small conversation. They're like really open, and they ended up asking for her Instagram in front of her mother, right? So those things are wins under my belt that I'm like, wow, I can do it again. Wow, if I could approach that girl, I can approach another one. If I could talk to that guy that looks like a fucking Chad, and he was really nice to me, I can do it again, right? So it kind of like gives you the confidence to be like, I can do it again. I can approach someone again. I can have another conversation with a stranger. And the second thing is that basically the more that you put yourself out there, the more you get better at talking to people, right? So first you start to like analyze yourself, right? Okay, so first you approach someone, right? And then you kind of like study myself. Okay, this conversation was a little bit awkward because of I didn't say anything for the first 5 seconds. Okay, let me say something. Let me throw a question, right? So then you start to like analyzing yourself. You start to do more approaches until you unlock and you'll be like, okay, I know what to do from A to Z on how to talk to people, right? That's one of the things that has helped me. Last thing is basically if you have social anxiety just like me, I went through a lot of trauma, so I would have an anxious brain, right? I have an anxious brain. So basically how this helps you is that whenever you see a smile, you see a good deed from someone. When you have a conversation with someone and they respond to you in a nice way with a smile, let's say at the grocery store, you ask a girl, do you know what the milk is? And then she with a smile, she stopped doing what she's doing. She comes up to you and she's like, yeah, of course, the milk is over there. And then she says it with a smile. She says it with good intentions. All of those things, when you put yourself out there, when you talk to people, your brain will start to change a little bit. And your brain will be like, oh shit, people are not here to get me, judge me, make fun of me, attack me, right? They are not my enemies. They are my friends. They are on the same side. And this has helped me to be less anxious around people, because understanding this puts the pressure of like impressing others or being judged away, right? It kind of like it vanishes, it's gone once I started to understand this. And the only way to understand this is not by throwing myself affirmations of people are good, people love me, right? That shit doesn't work. And just by going out there and have a neutral conversation with someone, just give a compliment and see how people react. So I remember that first I started this, if I would go to the locker room and I would see a big guy, my brain would tell me, don't say anything. He's gonna think that you're weird. He's gonna think that you're an ass, that you're a weirdo, this and that, right? But I would do it regardless. I would see his reaction, right? Hey man, you look big, man. They wouldn't be like, oh, thank you, and look at me weird, right? That's what my mind was thinking that was gonna happen. He was like, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. And then you see their smile, right? Because people are not what you think that they are. People actually crave love and attention and validation. So the same way that I would be like, I want to have a friend, there's a lot of motherfuckers in the gym right now that think the same thing. So the best way to do it is just to put myself out there, talk to them, and then somehow we're gonna connect, because they are craving love, I'm craving love, I wanna make friends, they wanna make friends. So somehow the connection is there, and then just easy for us to connect as friends, just around people. And you will stop being an antisocial.